If I told you that one ordinary morning changed an elderly woman's life forever, and that the lesson hidden inside her struggle might change your life too, would you believe me? Because the story you're about to hear is not just about survival. It's about faith, loneliness, courage, and the unfailing hand that reaches for us even when we think we're forgotten. So I want you to watch closely, because every moment of Eleanor's journey will teach you something powerful about your own. And please, stay until the end, because the miracle that saved her may be the reminder you've been needing in your darkest moments too. Eleanor Whitmore was 78 years old, and though her bones ached and her steps were slow, her spirit still glowed with the gentle warmth of a woman who had lived deeply and loved deeply. That morning, the sunrise painted her little farmhouse in gold. The air smelled like wet grass and new beginnings. But the world around her did not know that this peaceful morning was leading her into a moment that would test everything she believed. You ever notice how sometimes on the days that seem the calmest, something inside feels different? Almost like life is whispering, "Pay attention." Eleanor felt that. She held her tea by the window and stared across her quiet land. She took in the birds, the soft wind, the garden she planted with her late husband. And even though she smiled, a shadow of loneliness touched her eyes. If you've ever felt that quiet ache, that longing for the days when life felt fuller or when someone stood beside you, then you already understand Eleanor more than you think. But listen closely, because her story is about to show you why, even in solitude, you are never truly alone. Eleanor stepped outside, cane in one hand, basket in the other. The chickens ran to greet her, impatient but familiar. She laughed softly. All right, breakfast time." She fed them, hummed an old hymn her mother taught her, picked herbs from her garden, and tried not to think about how silent her home had become over the years. Her husband had passed, her son lived far away, her friends were mostly gone, and yet, she carried on. You see, some people think strength is loud, but real strength sometimes looks like an elderly woman humming a song to herself just to fill the silence in her heart. And here's the part you need to hear. Small, lonely routines can be the very places where God prepares the biggest miracles. So don't go anywhere, because what happens next will pull you into a moment that changed everything for her. Eleanor walked toward the old stone well under the oak tree, the same one she and her husband used to joke about. The rope was old, the stones were older, but she had used that well every day for decades. She approached it slowly, the way you approach something familiar, something trusted, something that has never failed you before. Isn't it strange how life often turns on the things we never expect? As she leaned over the well and lowered the bucket, the rope creaked. She frowned. "Hold on now," she whispered. But sometimes life doesn't wait for us to be ready. Sometimes it just snaps. The rope broke, the bucket dropped, and so did she. Her hat flew off, her cane slipped, her basket scattered across the ground like fallen memories. As she tumbled downward, time slowed, the way it does in moments when fear takes over everything. Her hands clawed at the stones, her breath tore from her chest, her heart pounded like a drum of panic. "Help!" she screamed. But the only answer was her own echo. "Viewer, I need you to stay with me here, because this is the moment that begins the true lesson. And what happens next is something you must hear, because it might speak to the fall you went through, or the fall you fear." She hit the cold water at the bottom, not deep enough to drown her, but deep enough to weaken her bones and steal her warmth. Her fingers locked onto slippery stone. Her breathing shook. Her legs trembled violently. The well walls stood tall and merciless around her. There, in the hollow heart of the earth, she felt something she had never felt so strongly: abandonment. And if you have ever felt abandoned, by life, by people, by hope, then you know exactly what squeezed Eleanor's heart in that moment. She cried out again, "Somebody, help me!" But the world above didn't know she was down there. Have you ever been in a place so dark and so quiet that you wondered if anyone would ever come? If you're still here watching, it means something in this part of the story is meant for you. Keep going. Abraham wasn't saved until the last second. Joseph's freedom came after years, and Eleanor's rescue is moments away. As she clung to the wall, her memories played before her. Her wedding day, her husband's laughter, the night she held his hand as he slipped into eternity, the birthday spent alone, the holidays where no one knocked on her door, the prayers she whispered into a quiet house, memories of love and memories of loss. She whispered shakily, "Lord, where are you?" Her voice cracked. And the truth is, most people will not admit how often they've whispered that same question in the dark. But if that's you need to stay until the end of this story, because you're about to see what she saw. And what she saw proves something important. Darkness is not the end. A faint glow appeared above, at first soft, then stronger, then brighter, impossibly bright. The light poured down the well like warm water, illuminating every stone around her. Her breath caught. What is this? But before she could understand, she felt it. A presence. Not frightening, not overwhelming, but comforting. Strong, familiar. Then, through that golden radiance, a figure appeared, kneeling at the well's mouth, robe glowing, hair moving in a breeze she couldn't feel, eyes full of compassion deeper than anything she had ever seen. Her tears stopped, her fear melted, her heart knew. Jesus? Viewer, I need you to lean in here, because if you've been struggling, if you've been tired, if you've been asking God whether He still sees you, this moment is your answer too. Jesus leaned forward, not rushed, not frantic, just certain. And He extended His hand toward her, a hand scarred by sacrifice, a hand overflowing with peace, a hand that reached deep into her nightmare. "Take my hand," He said gently. His voice carried warmth that hit her like sunlight on a winter morning. Eleanor's fingers trembled as she lifted her hand. I'm so weak," she whispered. "You're not alone," He replied. "You were never alone." Their hands touched. A surge of warmth flooded her, not physical warmth, but a peace that filled her bones, her heart, her soul. Light wrapped around her like a blanket. Slowly, He lifted her, not with strain, not with effort, with grace. Eleanor rose upward through the well, through the shadows, through the cold, until she broke into the sunlight again. Grass kissed her hands, warmth touched her face. The wind felt like a mother's embrace. Jesus helped her sit. Her tears streamed freely. "Why would you come for me?" she asked, through sobs. Jesus smiled with the tenderness of someone who had loved her long before she was born. "Because you are mine," He said, "and I will never stop reaching for you." Viewer, pause for a moment. Let that sink in. You are not forgotten. Not by heaven, not by the one who made you. And if you've ever wondered whether your pain matters, it does. Because Eleanor's rescue was not just her miracle. It's a reflection of God's heart toward you too. Jesus stood, the light around Him soft but powerful. "Will I see you again?" Eleanor whispered. "You will," He said. "I'm closer than you think." And slowly, He faded into the light. But His peace stayed behind. Eleanor took a trembling breath, touched her heart, and whispered, "Thank you." She picked up her cane, steadier than before, and walked back toward her home. Stronger, braver, no longer alone. Eleanor walked into that day thinking it was just another morning. and walked out of it knowing she was deeply loved. And so are you. If you're facing something dark, if you feel stuck in a well of fear, sadness, or loneliness, hold on. Light is coming. Help is coming. Your story isn't over. And if you watch this far, it's not by accident. This message found you for a reason. So keep watching stories like this. Keep learning. Keep growing. And remember, even in the deepest well, His hand can still reach you.